Inside your brain right now, there's a chemical warfare happening. Every notification, every like, and every swipe is triggering a dopamine hit stronger than what our ancestors got from finding food. And the scary part is the consistent bombardment of dopamine is rewiring your brain, making it increasingly dependent on these fleeting highs. Your ability to focus, to think deeply, and to experience genuine fulfillment is being hijacked by the very technology designed to make your life easier. The consequences are shocking. A generation of people who can't sit still, can't think clearly, and can't find joy in anything that doesn't come with a notification. But there's still time to fight back and reclaim your brain. The question is, will you? Okay, let's start with the basics. What is dopamine? Think of dopamine as your brain's way of saying, wow, this is awesome, let's do it again. It's basically your brain's reward chemical that makes you feel good when accomplishing something. Back in caveman days, your brain would release dopamine when you found food or water. It was your brain's way of motivating you to keep going to do survival things. By the way, dopamine in itself isn't the bad guy here. We actually need it to feel motivated and happy. The problem is that today's world, it's like dopamine on steroids. Our phones, social media, even that delivery app that brings food right to your door, they're all giving us dopamine hits way beyond what's natural. So what happens when we get too much of this good thing? That's when things get messy. Have you ever wondered why it's so hard to put your phone down? Or why, when you open up Instagram, you close it and then you immediately open it up again without even thinking? That's because tech companies have figured out how to hack your dopamine system. Every time you get a notification, your brain gets a little squirt of dopamine. Every time you scroll and you see something new, dopamine. Every time you like a post, you guessed it, dopamine. The real problem starts when this becomes a loop. You check your phone, you get a dopamine hit, you feel good for like 2 seconds, and then you need another hit. So you check your phone again, and again, and again. But here's the kicker. Over time, your brain starts to need more and more of these hits to feel the same pleasure. Things that used to give you a natural dopamine hit, like finishing a project, having a good conversation, or even enjoying a sunset, starts to feel, well, boring. This is why so many of us can't focus on reading a book for more than 5 minutes, or why having a conversation without checking our phones feels almost impossible. Our brains are literally being rewired to seek out these quick, artificial dopamine hits instead of natural ones. By the way, this isn't just affecting your productivity, it's impacting your mental health too. Studies are showing links between excessive screen time and increased anxiety, depression, and feelings of loneliness. This is why breaking free from the cycle is so hard, because it's not just a habit, it's an engineered addiction. So why is it so difficult to stop? The truth is, these apps aren't designed to be used in moderation. They're designed to be addictive. That infinite scroll feature, it's literally inspired by slot machines. Those notifications, they're timed to keep you coming back throughout the day. So it's not your fault that it's so hard to put down your phone. These products were engineered by some of the smartest people in the world specifically to keep you hooked. And the worst part is, the more that you feed this addiction, the harder everything else becomes. Studying for an exam feels impossible. Cleaning your room feels like climbing Mount Everest. Even hobbies you used to love start to feel like a chore. I noticed this in myself when I realized I was spending more time scrolling through videos about creating YouTube videos than actually creating YouTube videos. The real thing just couldn't compete with the constant newness and stimulation. But here's the good news. Your brain is incredibly adaptable. Just like it learned this addiction, it can unlearn it too. So how do we fix this? Let me break it down into 3 simple steps. This is where you reset your brain's baseline. And no, you don't have to throw your phone into the lake. Just start small. Try a 24-hour period where you cut out your biggest dopamine triggers like social media, gaming, junk food, or whatever your personal vice is. Now, I'm gonna be honest, the first few hours are gonna suck. You're gonna feel bored, anxious, and maybe even a little depressed. That's your brain throwing a tantrum because it's not getting its fix. But push through, because after that initial withdrawal, something amazing happens. You start to find pleasure in simple things again. Once you've reset your baseline, it's time to train your brain to enjoy the process, not just the reward. Start building in small challenges throughout your day. Read for 20 minutes before checking your phone in the morning. Finish that assignment before watching YouTube, or cook a meal instead of ordering delivery. These small acts of discipline are like working out a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. And eventually, you'll start to feel a sense of satisfaction from the work itself, not just from finishing it. Let's be real. Technology isn't going anywhere, and honestly, we don't want it to. The goal isn't to become a hermit living in the woods. The goal is to put technology back in its place as a tool that serves you, not the other way around. Set some boundaries. Maybe turn off all notifications except calls and texts from actual humans. Use app timers to limit how long that you're scrolling. Delete the apps that's your biggest time wasters and only check them on your computer. Before you pick up your phone, pause and ask yourself, is this helping me or controlling me? That simple question can be surprisingly powerful. And remember, your brain wasn't designed for endless stimulation. The more you chase cheap dopamine hits, the harder it becomes to enjoy real life. But you can break free from this cycle. Imagine waking up feeling clear-headed, able to focus deeply on what truly matters, and finally enjoying those little moments in life without the constant urge to check your phone. That's what's possible when you take back control. I challenge you to try this. For the next 24 hours, cut out just one dopamine trigger and replace it with something meaningful. Maybe read instead of scrolling, call a friend instead of texting, or cook instead of ordering out. Drop me a comment below and tell me how it feels. I bet you'll be surprised at how different even one day can feel when you're not constantly chasing that next dopamine hit. And if you found this eye-opening, like and subscribe to Gold Nuggets. Let's take back control of our minds together, and I'll see you next time.